So I'll start off by saying that this is one of the most useless governments in the history of the state in terms of minding the public purse. This is one of the most inefficient governments in the history of state in terms of minding the public purse. This is a government that is allergic to accountability. Now, the Minister for Finance talks about accountability. The government doesn't know what accountability means. The government thinks that accountability is that you come in here and speak in measured tones and shock about what the latest example of millions of euros has been lost in terms of an investment, or you maybe even have a committee meeting that would look into it, etc., and then you move on to the next situation. That's not accountability, Minister. And that means that if we continue on this route, we're going to continue to wake up morning after morning to the latest iteration of government waste, the latest example of millions of euros going to government waste. And just to show you the incompetency of this government at the moment, we are 100 days now after the election. And where are the committees? There's no even committees yet formed in this legislature. All week we're having statements on housing and statements on health and statements on justice. We're putting in the time here at the moment because this legislature can't even legislate. We can't bring even legislation through the stall at the moment, given the incompetency of the government. The democratic legislation system is grinding to a halt. Even the first objective, the first responsibility of your government to legislate for this country is actually not happening at the moment because 100 days after the election, we can't even get it together. So, listen, I could easily spend the next 10 minutes rhyming off all the examples of government waste, from the Gucci bicycle sheds to the National Children's Hospital, to the fact that the government spent 2.5 billion euros in terms of compensation for mistakes that happened in hospitals over the last 10 years. There's a never-ending supply of this. And unfortunately, there isn't even enough embarrassment on the government's faces in relation to these issues to make a change. But this is having a significant effect on Irish society in a number of ways. First of all, you're incinerating billions of euros of Irish taxpayers' money. The men and women who get up early in the morning, who burst themselves, who commute 2 and 3 hours a day, who work hard to get home to their families, to spend a half an hour with their kids before they go to bed, the taxes that you take off them, a large chunk of those taxes you're incinerating on a daily basis in terms of waste. But the other aspect of government incompetency and government uselessness is the fact that so many infrastructural projects are grinding to a halt. The National Children's Hospital was meant to be opened in 2020 at a cost of 700 million, save an asteroid hitting the planet, so said Leo Varadkar. Well, this government has proved to be more damaging than even an asteroid hitting the planet, because here we are today in 2025 without even a date for the opening of that children's hospital, and the cost is now heading towards 2.5 billion euros. I'll tell you what accountability is, Minister, if you just listen and stop looking at your mobile phone for 2 seconds. Accountability happens in the real world. There are hundreds of thousands of people who work in the tens of thousands of small businesses around the country. If they don't do their job properly, if they don't reach a standard, if they continue to waste money, if they continue to have a situation where they're burning through their business's money, there will be a cost to them. That cost will potentially be a disciplinary procedure. It could be moving sideways, it could be a lack of promotion, or it could be losing their job. But nobody ever loses their job at the top ends of the civil services, no matter how much money they lose, and nothing will change until that changes. Gurmagat.